Hello everyone. Today is May the 3rd, Tuesday evening, and today we got new results from a Public Health Agency of Canada about cases following vaccination. And just yesterday I was thinking what a good idea would be to use machine learning skills to actually maybe start making money out of our predictions. We offered idea of betting, so in fact I'm ready to bet $100 against $1 just to predict that the percentage of fully vaccinated among COVID deaths will go up from 29.2 to 29.6. That's what I said yesterday, not knowing what the actual data would be. And I invite everyone to go to my Twitter account, and you see that's the table which was published last week. It showed 17.6 plus 11.6, so together it's 29.2. That was the percentage last week. So I thought, indeed, I know it's coming up. I know, and I can bet. Actually, I can bet my salary on that, because that's how sure I am about this data, about the predictions. And indeed, today the data were posted, and you would see that's the table from there, and shows 17.7 plus 12.5, so which is actually even more than what I was predicting. It's not 29.6, it's 30.2. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's make money out of this. I invite everyone to invite their friends, teachers, coaches, especially it would be nice to invite political leaders of all kinds and just play this game. Invite them to bet for the fact that the numbers will be going up next week. Now, for how much they would go up, we have just updated our ivim.ca website, and you may remember the plot which plots all these numbers by week is at the bottom of this page. It's actually right in here. So these are the numbers just exactly as reported. Remember, they started reporting on the 30th of July. And you remember they started counting from the day when the needle touched the shoulder of the first Canadian. Right? Counting already all cases since then. And that's why, of course, it creates a skew or a bias. Or advantage, it's also called. It's like playing a hockey game, Canada and US, and you're already giving US 1,000 points, or Canada. But anyway, advantage becomes less and less the further away from the beginning of the match you're going. So anyway, we have now a trend line. And here you would see what is called R-square metric. It's a very important metric, statistical metric. It shows how far is the prediction from the data which has been actually observed. And 95%, it's huge. Normally when you see over 90, you can bet easily. You can put it on a hockey team, or you can put it on a financial market. So we have all those predictions right here. We just use simple regression. It's a regression line which just fits nicely the percentage of deaths, hospitalizations, and also infections. And you see that actually it just went up to 32 point, it's hospitalizations and death 30.2. Now, why not just to predict it for the next week? That's exactly what we've done. So I already put the number for next week. I predict it will be 30, actually not even for next week, for next month. Why not to predict just for the next month, right? So I put it already in a month from now, actually from the date which is posted today. And the same way you can predict it even for the month of October. It will go up, up, and up until it reaches the weekly percentage, because that's when the advantage which was given in the beginning of the game will no longer be as important. And the weekly percentages, or percentages based on weekly counts, I computed right here, we call it based on weekly count of cases. And you see the vaccination rate reached already asymptotic. It really reached, looks like, the capacity of Canadians who could now tolerate the injustice which has been done to them. Essentially, it seems like about 85% Canadians got vaccinated, but 15% still try not to get vaccinated for whatever reasons. And of course, they're denied access to planes, to trains, they're denied jobs. Canada seems like the only country right now who is doing that, even despite the fact that the numbers showed very, very clearly that right now the percentages go up and up all the time. So it's like a joke right now you would see on social media that 1 + 1 is not equal 2 anymore. It may be equal whatever our government is telling us, right? But maybe that's a joke, but actually the truth is that the numbers keep climbing and climbing all the time. So now you know how to make your bets. So please go ahead and keep following me on Twitter. I will give you more ideas on where more bets you can make, because you can predict also the number of side effects. Now, how we do it, I'll show you. But again, just please start following me if you are not on Twitter. And also go to YouTube. And all links are at the top of the screen right here. You would see Twitter here and Facebook here and YouTube channel, and you can open. And this is where we'll be posting this video as well. And I will provide all sorts of advice on how you can bet your money with people who don't know it yet, who don't believe yet science. The numbers are all here. So I told you can predict the percentage of fully vaccinated, but also you can predict actually also the number of vaccine serious adverse reactions. You see, we started plotting these predictions, yellow line, because we know that based on the historical data, you see we've been accumulating data since since May, right? We know that the adverse events are reported with a delay. So whatever is reported right now, or at this time it was reported in March. So these are only about 1/3. So the actual number was here, let's put it 73. But we say, we expect it would be at least 214, right? So this is our prediction. So again, the data is reported 85, but our prediction is higher than that, because we know in a few months from that particular date, there will be new reports coming, and that's exactly what it happened. So we just looked at this webpage, official webpage, and we now plot two graphs here, the one which was plotted last month and the one which is plotted just last week. And let's see what we have here. We see already that actually for the same month of March, we already have the numbers actually doubled. And you even see the scale right now is not up to 500 weekly events, but it's up to 1,000. So it doubles approximately. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can really make good use of your intelligence or machine intelligence and start making money if you are able to find someone who will bet with you on the predictions of adverse reactions and also on the predictions of the percentage of fully vaccinated among deaths. So again, these are the numbers which are posted this week. So for next week, what I would put, I think you can easily say 0.5%, but actually based on this dynamic, I think it's more than close to 1%. So next week, my bet is 31% of fully vaccinated will be reported right here. And again, I'm just repeating myself, but it's better to repeat, right? For those who joined us just later, that the predictions are all right here. So we started putting in our predictions even here. So I put this last bar. It's the prediction for the months from now. Now you would know that we also produce many other plots, and these are the plots which computes odds, for example. Essentially, how useful or how valuable would it be to add another dose? Let's say if you have one dose, what will happen if you add another second dose? Would your chances of dying become higher or less? That's the idea of odds. And these are the numbers all aggregated since February. So this graph is computed automatically based on the spreadsheet. It's a Google spreadsheet, which all of you could look and make use for your own benefit. So what does it show? It shows you that 0 doses compared to 1 dose, yes, have almost 3 times are more likely to die of COVID or with COVID. But let's see what else do we have here. We have that, yes, compared to 2 doses or 0 to 2 doses or 3 doses, okay, 1.5. But then you would see that actually adding a dose to 1 make it actually you would not make it better by adding an extra dose here, because it's lower than 1. So higher than 1 means the risk is higher. Lower than 1 means the risk is lower when you compare one population to another population. And we have also time series which tracks all these odds from the very beginning when these numbers were printed. And you see in the beginning, indeed, we see big graphs, big plots up to 10, maybe a factor of 10. That's in the time of delta. So that's indeed 0 doses were at more risk. So it's a red bar, I think it's right here. So, or actually it's, 0 to 2 plus doses, right? So you see in the beginning, it was really, you see 2 doses were helping, right? But then with the change to a new variant, you see less and less, and actually now it's even less than 1. So, and this is we're looking at odds of cases, and then there are odds of hospitalizations and odds of cases deceased. You see, so you see a dynamic right here. Okay, lots of data, lots of insights. Here it's all public, it's all taken from official sources, and I will remind you where you could get the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet, you can go right here, data sources and spreadsheet, click here. And here you'd see all official sources and also a spreadsheet. So it's a Google spreadsheet, and we deliberately started using Google spreadsheet, not R or Python, some other complicated data science technologies, because we want you to be able to open these files easily yourself. Anyone can open Google spreadsheet and you can see all those numbers yourself, right? So please do that. You see that's the table, you see the line which we have added today, and the blue portion shows you the line or the numbers which are pasted directly from the official website. In here, you click here, cases following vaccination, you go to table number 2, it's table number 2, and this is where you would see this are the numbers which were pasted 1995, and we would just paste it right here. Yeah, so you see it's right here. So we have many volunteers who are actually helping us to enter these numbers, that they help us to validate all the formulas. And then all the plots are also right here. You see all the plots or odds, and it shows you also by age, very important, of course, to see how mortality or hospitalizations, how do they vary by age, because in particular we see that children, actually there are zero deaths for children since August, right? But when you look at adverse reactions, unfortunately there are actually quite a few. So here is the graph. It shows you for different ages, right? So lots of data. Now, again, why actually I had to do it tonight, because tomorrow I may be I'm going out of town, and there may not be good connection for the live Facebook stream. I will try to connect again at noon Ottawa time on Wednesday. I like this idea of using Facebook. I never used it before, but at least you would be able to look at the numbers, ask questions, at least offline, and then please also join us for the Friday seminars, which we use for which we use Zoom. And I will just show you again where is the information about seminars. It's right here, weekly seminars. So we used to have these seminars every Friday only, but now because there's so much interest and so much data that just one day is not enough. And people, I have a lot of friends now, and actually people who are very much interested to learn more about the official data. So they suggested that I start really leveraging Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, and that's why we have become very active on Twitter. So thank you everyone for watching. Please join us on Friday, this Friday, for the interactive session. With Zoom, we could even talk to each other. It's really, it's a nice forum. We could have a live discussion. And again, we're trying to make it really non-partisan discussion. We are showing that vaccines sometimes work, sometimes it may not work. Maybe one type of vaccine better than the other one, or one variant is worse than the other one. So we're really trying to get into the meaning of all those different numbers. So the numbers are right here. The topic for this week is making predictions using machine learning, and why I was proposed, a friend of mine suggested why not we dedicate this week to making predictions, because Canadian government just released a budget. I'm not sure whether it's approved or not, but they are apparently planning for a pandemic for the next 3 years. So for 3 years from now, there will be a pandemic in Canada. That's what they're saying, despite the fact, actually, it doesn't matter. It seems like actually it doesn't matter. Anything does not matter. Whether other countries are declaring pandemic is over, whether the numbers are getting up, and they will be going up as we prove it, and I could put money, I could put my salary on that. So it looks like the government is really making plans already for 3 years ahead, and we can really now see where those numbers are going. But again, as we say, there are two ways of predicting the future. One of them is making the future yourself. So you set the conditions such that future happens the way you wish it to be. Or you could use machine learning techniques. This is what we are doing. So again, thank you everyone for watching. If you don't see me tomorrow live, you know that there is just no internet connection in this area where I will be going tomorrow. But I hope I'll see you on Friday at Friday noon. And again, please follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Bye-bye.